But anyway, good to see you.
Neil, it's always good to see you.
What do you think of all this?
It's funny because the president's approval ratings are going up and he's getting high marks on the North Korea stuff. And finding Twitter issues and, some of the stuff that he says that has been fodder and a dog whistle, because it works both ways. He can say something that is taken as so offensive and bastardizing protocol that the press gets outraged about that, or he can misdirect using Twitter, talking about something so egregious that the press follows that, which is their most lazy instinct. And it seems like the president has kind of been calming down, maybe because he's been actually busy with stuff. And, when you've got North Korea, the embassy relocating to Jerusalem, not to mention the primaries that just took place, hopefully wrapping up the Mueller investigation, the president is quite engaged. I mean, there's always time for an impulsive Sunday morning Twitter flourish. Don't get me wrong about that. But the point is, it's not making the kind of purchase it did 6 months ago or a year ago.
Are still like those are, Jimmy Kimmel gets great ratings doing it, and Stephen Colbert. Now, Kimmel was among those say, well, maybe people are getting tired of some of these political jokes. Separately, Jerry Seinfeld saying he excused them entirely. What do you think of that?
Well, and here's the interesting thing about Jerry Seinfeld, and I think he's coming from a place that's actually very interesting. He also doesn't like going to college campuses because it's groupthink. You can't say certain things without being completely maligned. And what's happened with a lot of comedians and Trump, and I think we saw this at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, is so much of it becomes hacky and predictable. It's the same joke essentially over and over and over again. And if you're not telling it in new and creative ways, then it gets really boring and it sort of wears on your audience. And I think that there is this fatigue to the comedic resistance, which is fine because comics work best when they are attacking everyone. When they
don't comics like it when the target is so serious and thin-skinned?
There's a part of that the president has provided, and the fact that he reacts to people. Well, I mean, obviously he shouldn't respond to everything. He didn't respond to Eminem, and you and I talked about this.
Yes,
and the funniest thing about that was, Eminem has always been known for his social commentary. Was he couldn't get the president to respond to him, and he threw a tantrum.
Eminem, the chocolate candy,
which are delicious, and they do not melt in your hands.
The characters are very funny.
They're so funny. They should do a movie about them.
Right.
Yes, the Detroit rapper.
Yes,
it was discovered by Dr.
Does it turn out, because I think a lot of these guys who've enjoyed a great rating surge as a result of being this one way must be looking over and saying, well, Tim Allen's show is back on the air, so maybe that's a sign that conservative comedians aren't, an anathema. Roseanne's success.
Patricia Heaton has been on the air the entire time.
Yeah.
And she authentically speaks to a part of the country who has a certain set of values. And they feel like Washington has not represented them, whether, it has to do with their family or their faith or certainly their own economy.
Yeah.
Washington has disregarded that in order to fund their own stupid whims.
But, I'm not putting you on the... You know what I love about you? You can be zinged and you don't care. People will say something, it doesn't really register with you. Me, I remember slights from 40 years ago. Now, I
love you have a grudge list in one of those folders.
I do, and I get a lot of very nasty comments, and they hurt my feelings because they refer to my weight and all.
Oh,
it's
I think
okay.
You look great.
I'm beyond that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So do you.
Yeah.
So here's what I have to ask you. There's this back and forth from what happened at a White House meeting where this communications, the director or official was saying disparaging things about John McCain, and we're talking about the CIA director, whether she would get approved, and then the remarks, the whole thing.
Yeah.
The dust-up tended to be over not so much the remarks in there, but that they got out, they were leaked. What do you think of the whole thing?
I think the White House has always been very leaky. I think it shows that there are still factions. And, you have to operate as though you are always being monitored and you are always in public, even if you are in a private meeting. Because
but is it any different when it comes out that this happened? Or is it a big deal like Nick Mulvaney, the budget director, was telling me, look, it was horrible what she said. She said at a private meeting and really expressing rage that it got out.
Yeah.
Anything else.
And I understand that she's upset it felt like a private meeting. But if there's more than two people, it's not really a private meeting. And if you're discussing the business
but when that comes
of the
public
United
and it's
States,
out there, that's when the onus is on. Should she quit? Should she be fired?
Well, you also have the White House has to look internally at who was there and how do they benefit from leaking this information. But someone like Kelly Sadler has to look at what she's doing. And believe me, we've all had these embarrassing embarrassing moments where we've said something that we think is funny, and we also think is just between a couple of people,
I've
and then
heard
either
things
it
you
gets
said about me, though.
No, that is untrue.
Well, Charlie Gasparino says you said horrible things.
Charlie Gasparino was looking for a good smack to the kisser, and not from me. He pays people to
understand.
do it, which is weird.
Not to be trusted. I understand.
Not as
You
far
are
as
to
you
be
can throw.
trusted.
Thank you, Neil.
Kennedy, you're the best. Great sense of humor. Very, very funny. Says awful things in private.